at Dad's funeral, I remember every minute someone at visitation, someone was saying, "Oh, your dad was my mentor."
Yes.
How in the world did the man have time to mentor 100 different people across the board, and a lot of them women?
He was a role model, and it was interesting because when Peggy, when I became board chair, he talked to Peggy and said, "You know, I'm really proud. I knew that she could do this."
Glenn was the best. I am just forever grateful to him for giving me the opportunity. You know, he'd come out and talk to me sometimes. He said, "Okay, it's time for you and me to talk." But that's how you learn. You know, the first day I started there, it was in the wintertime. I didn't have a driver's license. I walked home in the snow. I was lost. I found the railroad track, then I knew where I was. But when Glenn heard that, he said, "Oh, no, 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 no. You need a ride, you let me know. We're going to figure out how we're going to get you home." So that's the kind of person he was. He was just so, just like I say, a father image to me, and just the most wonderful boss you could ever ask for.
He made this town. He made this chamber because he had the same stuff that we got from IBM. I don't know where Glenn got this, but boy, he knew how to meet and greet and listen and all of that. I mean, he's the hero of this place, in my opinion.
He started with the chamber. There were right around 300 members. And when he retired, or not even before he retired, in 30 years there were over 1,000 members.
But I remember Glenn, and I think about the things that have happened here, the things that are here today, that I believe are part of his legacy, or maybe not just part, but maybe his legacy.
I can't tell you how many things he founded. It was just, he and 7 other people founded Princess K of the Milky Way. Mm-hmm. He founded Central Minnesota Dairy Days. He founded the St. Cloud Opportunities. He helped found the St. Cloud Area Economic Development Partnership. He founded the amateur baseball, Minnesota Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame,
which
and
is
then
now
the
located
museum.
in the convention center.
Yeah, and he worked tirelessly for the March of Dimes, and he was instrumental in getting Crossroads built, and that was huge because you had the downtown, and they were leery of a shopping center, and he managed to, and they had to annex some of Wake Park. So that it would Crossroads would all be in St. Cloud. And they convinced Wake Park to do that.
That was a battle, too.
And that was a huge battle. And he was instrumental in getting the chamber involved in getting the first civic center built. And as we said, the water treatment industry.
The Finger Hut plant in Princeton burned down. Dad and a number of them were in a car the next day, down in Minnetonka, in Manny.
The ashes were still smoking.
Yeah, in Manny Fingerhut's office, to propose that instead of rebuilding in Princeton, that he rebuild his organization in St. Cloud.
Volunteerism was huge for my dad. He believed in it, and he nurtured it in us, and I think that's why people saw him as a mentor. He had a gift for seeing someone, talking to them, and then hooking them up with the right place. He always told us that you don't take the credit. You should not be us, children, family. The public spotlight is not what you should do. You should be behind the scenes, laying the groundwork, doing the work, and then recruiting people. And then the other thing he said is, and if it goes south, which I don't think for him it hardly ever did.
Well, it wasn't an option.
But if it did, you take the responsibility.
Yeah.
Then, then you get out front and you take the responsibility. And in his obituaries, they called him Mr. St. Cloud.
Yeah.
And that was because St. Cloud was what he cared about. So he made the chamber into the hub of St. Cloud. Mom was, if there ever was a strong, supportive woman behind a man, it was my mother. There's no picture. When they did get pictures, there's no picture of Dad. without Mother.
That's right.
And she was so valuable to him in that she could talk things over. And she loved the chamber too.
And when people talk about philanthropists and philanthropy, they always imagine leaders that are incredibly wealthy. My dad, our dad, was a human philanthropist because his treasure was the people that he had the good fortune to work with, and I don't want to say develop, but to work with and get the best out of them, and have them give back and do things for the community. So he was really a human philanthropist. I mean, that's just what he did.
He is Mr. St. Cloud. There's no doubt about it. And still to this day, and it's been many, many years since he was president of the chamber, that he still has an impact and still has that footprint in this community.
Everybody loved Glen. He was really something, a real leader.
He was just one hell of a guy.
Yeah, he was.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Carlson.
And I'm Peggy Carlson. And our dad was Glen Carlson. And we just want to wish the St. Cloud Area Chamber of Commerce a really happy 150th birthday, anniversary.
And all the best for the future.
Yeah.